short rigger, and we've got a long rigger out as well. Then we've got a short corner and a medium corner.
Okay.
What will happen if the fish does take the lure, everything's set, the drag's set quite light today, we'll let the fish take the lure, and then all you'll do is you'll slowly take the strike up to strike on the reel, bring the gear out in the gimbal, and then from there on it's up to you to fight the fish in the chair, and hopefully we'll win.
Is there any chance of me going that way?
No, we're going to have the rod is still hooked up to the lanyard here, but we still got to be quite careful.
So you might want to rope me in then.
No.
These are as heavy as me.
We want to keep the rods and reels.
Well, to catch a marlin, that certainly is an experience of a lifetime. First of all, the lures are out the back or the bait, and all of a sudden the deckhand will say marlin on the left or marlin on the right, and there you go, and you get the electricity just races through your brain. You immediately standing there waiting and strike. The marlin hits the line, you immediately grab the rod out of the rod holder and get it into the chair if it's not already in there, because no other anglers are allowed to touch you or the tackle or anything, otherwise it's void of a capture. And you get in there and set yourself in that chair and get those legs pumping, and you let the fish run a little bit. You don't just hit it straight away, you let it run and let that line scream out, and then you just lay back, lock up your drag and heave ho, mainly with your legs and not with your arms. In a game chair, if you try to pull back on a heavy rod, you're not putting enough pressure on it. It is actually coming back with your legs. It's like a rowing machine, pushing back, and then you start that arduous task of retrieving line. And usually you yell out to your skipper, back up. You tell the skipper what to do, unless he's terribly experienced and you're inexperienced, and he'll tell you what to do. But 9 times out of 10 you'll say back up. You feel that the fish is getting away and you have to get that fish to you. You back up and you retrieve line. Certainly at not a high speed, because if he backs too quick, you'll get slack line and you'll drop your fish. They'll spit the hook and the fight can go on for hours on end. But usually if you're a very good angler, you can pump these fish in rather smartly. But when you get it to the boat, that's when it becomes treacherous, because I don't believe that the angler has more than 20% to do with the actual capture of the fish. It's the man that's driving the boat, and it's if the gaff man, they don't gaff fish anymore, or the wire man, and everyone associated with it. The bloke that's steering your chair for you, they all represent a huge part of the capture. And once you've popped that tag into it and cut the line or got the hook out of the marlin, you just sit back there and you lay in a lather of sweat and disbelief that you've actually landed something so magnificent. The adrenaline rush is impossible to transmit into anyone's brain what can happen. It's just an amazing, amazing feeling.
Come on, you fish. You don't need to go to the gym when you go out the ocean. Oh my God! That reel's almost as big as your head, mate. That fish just pulled and pulled me right out of my chair. Pause, please.
With the huge reel loaded up under 20 kilos of drag pressure, the strain on Ian was immense. Veins were popping out of his neck and arms, and the last thing you need now is to panic and do something silly. Luckily, Marshy obliged with a full face plant into the chair, and although I was trying to look as concerned as possible, I have to admit that part of me was doubled up on the floor in laughter. It's amazing how pain's only funny when it happens to someone else. How's that chest, mate? Okay, I know it really wasn't funny, but here's credit, he got right back on the fiberglass horse and got stuck in again to get back all of the line he lost during his dismount.
Get ready to just back off the drag.
Yeah, he's off.
Oh wow. There he is, mate. There he is.
It's a blue, is it?
I don't know yet.
Whatever it was, my job was going to be to put the tag into the fish. Tagging's done so when bill fishery captured, scientists can track where they've travelled to. The only problem was, I didn't listen to Pete's tagging tutorial about 5 minutes earlier, and I wasn't really sure that I wasn't going to stuff it up. Luckily I did.
Hey, come and have a look at this.
Oh wow. There's that.
Few tagged fish are actually ever seen again, but it's widely accepted that this is due to the large size of the population rather than the fish not surviving. Studies also show that tagging does not stress the fish at all. This marlin was a black, and you can tell that by the rigid pectoral fins, which are permanently locked in place by calcification of the shoulder joint and provide immense lift while swimming.
It's a black. Someone want to grab us tonight?
Yeah.
You go well over 100 kilo.
Yeah.
All we're going to do is just, rather than mess around with the hooks, we're just going to cut him off. Well done.
Got him?
Legend.
Hey, matey. Hey,
Great.
you can use your leg face. You can wear, you actually wear it.
He did jump once. Thanks, Jim. I appreciate that, mate. I've got tears in my eyes. Oh.
The new